Nico,
Recording in progress.
look, I think everybody knows last time out against Charlotte was not us. We're disappointed by it. We knew we had to be almost perfect over the last couple months to put pressure on LAFC. Came up a little bit short of our goal of making a run at the Supporters Shield. That's in the past now, and we know that we need to have a good response against Toronto and finish the year at home in Subaru Park, in a position where we've been unbeaten. So I expect a good response from the group. Again, it's been a very special season where a lot of new records have been met by this team and this great group of players and staff. And we want to send our fans home happy on the last day of the regular season and obviously clinch first place in our conference and know that the road to MLS Cup will go through Subaru Park, where we've been a really dangerous, strong team all season.
Thanks, Jim. Jonathan?
Thanks, Nico. Jim, your team, as you sort of alluded to a moment ago, your team hasn't had a good reason to be properly angry in a little while.
Yeah.
With all the success you've had this summer, is now a moment to gather the guys and say, hey, let's be a little honorable.
Yeah, look, make no mistake, Jonathan, we wanted to push and win every game down the stretch. We knew we had to be almost perfect. I got some good messages from some close friends at LAFC on the staff and front office there. And they actually said, thanks for pushing us, because it woke us up quite a bit the way you guys were playing. I think it woke their group up. So, we wanted to make a run at it. We came up a little bit short. We're obviously disappointed. Missing Ali, again, was a factor in it. But we are a team. We win together and we lose together. So, we had a hiccup. I do think in every loss you can learn from a loss. And it's good to get a wake-up call like that and maybe take one on the chin and get soundly beaten as you go into now elimination games, because we recognize now and we respect the game that in a way that if we start that with that kind of, not being us, you can get punished quickly. And in the playoffs, it's one bad game and you're done. So I think to get that wake-up call can be a positive thing. Again, make no mistake, don't twist it. We wanted to obviously win the Supporters Shield. We came up a little bit short. But let's also recognize perspective-wise, to finish second in a league of 28 teams in terms of the record is also still a heck of an accomplishment from the group.
Back to George.
Hey, Jim, any update on Ollie's then?
Yeah, so Ali was out on the field today. Today was a lighter training session just with the long week. We broke it up and had a hard day the past 2 days. And then, the intensity dropped a little bit today just to let the guys get fresh and recover, have a little fun. Had a little soccer tennis competition at the end of the session. But Ali was out there today. His body's responding as good as it has in recent weeks. The hope is that he's part of the group against Toronto. Obviously, it's important, to get him involved as soon as possible, just because, it's a situation where you could have a long layoff, till the next game as well. So we'd really like for him to be a part of this game, whether that's as a starter, whether it's off the bench. Will certainly help the group. And not to be sentimental, but he deserves to be with the group in this last game in front of our home fans and to end the season in first place, which is our goal. So my hope is that he'll be available for selection, going into Sunday. Still have a couple more days to see how his body responds, but the hope is he'll be with us the next 2 days fully on the field.
Gordon?
Hey, Jim. With regards to Toronto, obviously a much changed team since you last
Yeah.
saw them. But circumstances being what they are, coming in, having been eliminated, having to travel on the final day, what sort of state do you expect them to be in when you face them this weekend?
Yeah, look, we know obviously what Bob Bradley is about, and he wants to win. He's going to want to put a team on the field, that wins the game. Ultimately, maybe the season hasn't gone exactly how they hoped, but they're also in the process of changing and shifting the culture. Like you said, they've added a lot of new pieces. They have incredible talent in their group, so we have to be very mindful of that. Obviously, Insigne and Bernardeschi are two dangerous players. Michael Bradley still can run the tempo of a game as the number 6, as the holding midfielder. So we have to do a good job of taking away their strengths, trying to find some weaknesses in their group. But we've been a good team at home, and we know that it's tough to predict exactly. It's always tough to predict the other team's roster and who they're going to start and how the game goes. But what we can control is how we play in our building, and I think our guys, off of the tough Charlotte loss, we'll have a good response and put on a good performance.
Matt the George.
Jim, this will be the first time you play a game all year without Kai Wagner
Yeah.
starting. What's that adjustment like this year?
Yeah, it makes it more. Yeah, it makes it more difficult. Obviously, Kai's been the best left back in the league for me. He's a guy that's in contention for a lot of awards at the end of the season, and has played every minute. So we'll miss him. But we have a strong squad. It's an opportunity for Matt Real, a guy that you guys haven't seen just how well he's played, but I'm really proud of Matt for how his season has gone. He's trained every day at his max. He's given us good games in the Union 2. He gave us a good game against Pachuca. And now is an opportunity for him, just like so many have in our team, stepped up when they're called upon. And I have full confidence in Matt that he'll do his job. It's important when players maybe haven't logged a lot of minutes to really listen to those words and just do your job. Don't try to do more. Don't try to impress the coaches. We know already how valuable you are to the group, and the guys around you on the field will help out as well. So full confidence in Matt. He's a great young left back. I think people forget still just how young he is, and is a guy that we're very fortunate to have in our group, and I know he'll put on a good performance.
Was he out there in training today? I didn't see him.
Yeah, he stayed in. Nothing that'll prevent him from the game, though. Just he took a knock. So two guys that had little knocks, Quinn Sullivan and Matt, just stayed in, and we're on the table with the masseuses. They got the good treatment today.
Jordan.
Jim, obviously what's at stake finishing first is that bye in the first round. Having had that in 2020 and things not working out the way you wanted to, do you view it any differently, or is that still something you want, not just for the notoriety of having finished first, but for what the bye gives you as well?
Yeah, look, each year is different and brings different sets of circumstances. I think the league did a little better job this time around of getting the games going a little quicker, less of a gap in between them. And ultimately, at the end of the day, if someone asks you in pro sports, do you want to finish first or second, it's always first. Second is the first loser, as they jokingly say. So we want to win the conference. We want home field advantage through the playoffs on the eastern side of things. And if LAFC gets upset, it's still a possibility to host the MLS Cup. So finishing as high as possible is always our regard. I understand in recent years, a couple times the top seeds have gotten upset. That happens in sports when it's a one-off game. But we want to embrace that challenge. And like I said, the spacing of the schedule is a little bit different than it's been in the past. But the reality is when you do get a bye, you're always playing against the team that's coming off of a playoff win, and that means they have confidence. So is there different things you could do? Is maybe better if 8 teams make it and it's 1 versus 8? Should it maybe reseed? Should it be that 1 doesn't always play 4-5? Should you have the opportunity of as a 1 seed to maybe play the 7 seed if they upset somebody? I think so, but these are the rules, and we know what they are going into the season. So those are up for discussion probably after the year's over, the different tweaks and changes that'll come as more teams enter the league.
John Lupo.
Jim, besides obviously needing a result to lock up, as you said, first place in the Eastern Conference and getting a bye and home field advantage, at least through the Eastern Conference playoffs, you also have a chance to finish with an unbeaten home record for the year. How much has that been talked about? How much motivation is that? And if you do manage to do that, what would you say about that particular accomplishment, besides all the other ones you've been trying to go for this year?
Yeah, look, we've talked a lot about it. We went undefeated, I believe, in the COVID year. It's a shortened year, so this is a bigger accomplishment, obviously. So yeah, we've talked about that. We talk about the goals against, record in a 34-game season, kind of the modern era. That's still on the table. You talk about guys playing for recognition for end of the season awards, whether that be defender of the year, goalkeeper, best 11, different things that I think our guys deserve. So yeah, all those things are on the guys' minds. We want to finish the season the right way, and most importantly, have a good performance. Put on a good performance for our fans. With that, with a good team performance, all the individual accolades and records kind of take care of themselves. So we'll get back to being us at home. We'll make it hard on Toronto. We know that they're going to try and make it hard on us, and it'll be a good match. So again, we look forward to a good 90 minutes and a exciting decision day where I'll just say we're happy where we are in the table, and it's not as crazy as it is for some others on the day.
Jonathan?
Thanks, Nico. Jim, understanding obviously that Olivier was on a short turnaround.
Yeah.
The last game when he got back, how's he at this point? You figure he's out there this weekend?
Good, yeah. And again, it's one thing if you go with the national team and you get minutes like Jose did, like some of the younger guys did. It's another to travel as far as Olivier did and also not get minutes, and that was disappointing for him. He picked up a little bit of a knock when he was there, so that was why he was taken out of one of the potential games. So I had the discussion with him, for the amount of miles he flew and the limited training that he got, and the lack of minutes he got. We went with Nathan, and Nathan actually did a good job, as good as you can do in a tough defeat. But yeah, Olivier will certainly play a very big role, Jonathan, in the game here. But yeah, that one was tough, with the lack of game sharpness when you're gone for 2 weeks, and then just getting off a plane and us having them for basically a day and a half. We just didn't think it made sense.
All right, and final question will go to Jordan.
Jim, with regards to Matt playing left back, he got a lot of minutes at center back for Union 2 this year. I'm wondering how much you think that has helped his development or helped refine his game on the defensive side, that we might see a little bit different form of him in this game.
Yeah, I think being able to play multiple positions, it just raises your value in this league, first and foremost. It gives you different perspective of angles, and when you play as a center back, there's different things you get punished for as opposed to an outside back. So sometimes to do both is a good thing, and it can only benefit you in your growth and development as a player. To see things from different perspectives is good, and I think it'll be a good thing for him that he has those minutes under his belt in that position. In an emergency, he could play as a center back, but certainly this week, it calls for him to be a solid left back for us, and we know Matt has a great left foot. He's one of our best crossers of the ball. He's got a great engine to get up and down the line, and he's a good 1v1 defender. So all those attributes are the reason why Matt Real is with us. Again, still only 22-year-old left back, and you look around the league, left backs are almost impossible to find, and we have two great ones. So can't wait to see him in the 90 minutes. And I think that playing both positions does give you perspective, and it helps. It only helps him grow and get better as a defender.